This would be Friday, August 21st, as we start going over our poster and then introducing some other fun information to you. Some information over there, and cover that, blah, blah. Poster! Alright, person who has the poster. Check your poster to make sure all of these things have been accomplished. Because when I grade your poster next week, I want to make sure I don't have to be mean to you for this. Is your poster colorful? Once again, it should look like a bag of Sweet Tarts threw up all over it, so it should be as colorful as possible. Did you not use pen or pencil anywhere on it? No pen. Even colored pen. No pen or pencil. I'm old, it hurts my eyes, it makes me grumpy. I want big, colorful, easy to read things. First and last name. Does each person have their last name on there? Can I find the last name? Can I read the last name? So make sure first and last names are all on there. Pictures should be near your name. Your name should be near your face, so I can match all these things up. It fails as a stalker aid if things are not near each other. So if you're going through there and setting it up, make sure that you have your face, and then your name, and then your pictures. So all those things are linked up. If you now realize you did it all wrong, find a way to fix it. Color code it, draw arrows, whatever creative thing you come up with. Make sure I can easily match things up. Your things in common? Are your things in common already on there? Can I find them easily? Pretend I'm dumb. Mr. Brovicast, that's not very hard to do. You're a hater. So pretend I'm dumb and I can't figure this out. Can I easily find your things in common? Is it written small and off in the corner? Because if I have to hunt for it, that's not going to work. Bring my attention to it. Remember, you're pretending I'm dumb. Like every day. Stop hating. Adjectives. They should be on there near your pictures, which should be near your face. So make sure all of that is on there. And then make sure everything is separated and I can figure out the stuff from there. Any of those questions? Anything about that? Yay! I will take the posters from you at the end because you don't get to take them with you because your superpower will come into effect. What is your... Which one are you on?
I'm on the animal.
Yeah, I saw you try to type the different animals. That was adorable, dear.
No, I spelled it with a Q.
No. Try not to judge. Because if you take your posters with you, your superpower comes into effect. And what is your superpower?
You break it.
Nicely done. And you're going to come back on Monday with a tissue. I'm like, that's not your poster. You're like, oh, that's all that's left. And I'm like, I don't understand. And so because of that, I keep your posters over the weekend. If you still need to add something to it, I'll let you do that on Monday, right before you do your presentation. Next up. Boom. I said, boom. There we go. What I have for you next is something that's going to begin next week. I have a lot of ties. I've collected about 400 ties over the course of all of my teaching years, which is more ties than we have days of school. So because of that, I will wear a different tie every day of the school year. Oftentimes, there's a tie that I will only wear once for the whole 2 years you are here. So because of that, I came up with a game where I have a theme for my ties. And my ties all have something in common for the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's something that they all have in common. If you can figure out what they have in common, it gets you extra B points. It does not cost you points if you get it wrong. If you get it right, you get extra points. The theme will be they all have animals on them, or they're all movies, or they're all TV shows, or they're all Disney, or something like that. There'll be some theme throughout the week. You only get one guess, though, so you have to make your one guess count. The earlier in the week you guess, the more points you get. If you guess the very first day, you get 4. If you guess on Tuesday, 3, Wednesday, 2, Thursday, 1, Friday, none. Because on Friday, I put the answer up there on the board, so you won't be able to find out and get any points from there. You can still guess on Friday. I just make fun of you if you do. But that is something you're more than welcome to do. When you guess, it does not involve you coming up and talking to me. I want a few of you talking to me as possible. So the way you're going to guess is that you are going to take a piece of paper, and you are going to write information on the piece of paper, the information that's behind me, and you're going to put it into a box. The box is the one that's right over here on my desk. It's the little brown one that is over there. Be careful though, because that little brown box is older than you. It has been on my desk longer than you have been on this planet. That box has been in that position for 16 years. It is ancient in box years. Because of that, and because it has survived multiple years of kids and their superpowers being unleashed upon it, it is covered in tape. I am very defensive of my box. When you put your piece of paper into the inside of it, you just slide it. There's a little hole there. If I see you cram your fist into the top of the box, I will rip off your body part and beat you with it. Because I like that box. I want that box to remain on my desk until the day I retire. Why? Because it's amazing it's lasted this long. It would be in the Guinness World of Records, except I'd have to update it every year because it's older than every other box that has ever existed. So be careful with it. It does not move, so don't go over like, Mr. Brovicast, why won't your box move? Because then all of a sudden you find yourself being slapped by your own detached arm. So just accept the fact that the box is there and it is magical. Yes, dear.
Where did you get the box?
I don't know. That's so long ago, it's like even longer than my memory. I think it was a shoebox, but there's no markings on it. So I think, I'm guessing here, I think it was a pair of really fancy shoes I got when I started teaching, and I had like these really fancy shoes. And I think it was like a fancy shoebox, but I could be wrong. There's a good chance there's information on the bottom of it, but it's attached to my desk. What?
Or you could have used it to put the carcasses of the dead turtle in.
That is also very true. There could be a dead turtle in there. That's a story for another day. Yes?
10 years ago, you had my Taekwondo instructor, Mr. Langlois.
Yes, I did. Bailey?
How small were your feet if that's a shoebox?
About that big. They haven't really changed much in 16 years. You guys are fascinating. So back to this point with the paper that you're putting into the box. The paper, when you choose it, you supply the paper, not me, so don't ask me for it. The paper has to be at least the size of a note card, so whenever you do it. The reason it has to be a note card size is kids would put their guess on a piece of paper about the size of my pinky nail, and they would try to write all the information onto it, and when I pulled it out, I couldn't read it. I'd be like, I don't know what that is. And so it wouldn't work. Or, at the end of the week, I'd say everyone who won, and people were like, I put my guess in on Monday? I'm like, no, you didn't. They're like, yes, I did. I'm like, it's not in there. Like, can you open the box? I'd open the box. Like, it's right there. I'm like, there's nothing in there with that piece of dirt. I'm like, that's my guess. And so because of that, it has to at least be the size of a note card. If it's not the size of a note card, you're going to be out of luck. Like people kicking each other will be out of luck when I beat you with your own feet. That's just a random example. You can use a bigger piece of paper if you want to. But if you fold it down, all the information has to go on the outside of it. Because it drove me nuts. Kids would fold like little origami things. Fold, 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 chipmunk. And so when I'd have to try and open it, I'd go nuts trying to unfold it, and I would just pass out from exhaustion. So if you fold it, all information goes on the outside. Because if I pull it out, and I go, nope, 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 and I toss it. So it makes sure it's easy for me to find if you fold the stuff down. Mr. Broviak, do we have to write this stuff down? Absolutely not. But if you ask me later about any of this, what am I going to do?
Make it up.
Lie! Absolutely. So if you want to not have me lie to you, you can probably write it down. My recommendation would be like on that very front page of your notebook where it has that gigantic X where nothing's going to go there anyway. You're always going to know where it is. Or you could always take a picture of this and keep it somewhere safe if you don't think you're going to lose it. Mr. Broviak, can't we just go back and watch the video? Yes, you could. But that's not going to do you much good when you're in the middle of class trying to figure...
Your head's
Got it. You must be trying to figure out in the middle of class how to do it. Alright, the 4 things you're going to have on this piece of paper when you turn it in. 1, the thing that you have to put on every piece of paper that you turn in. What do you have to put on every piece of paper?
Name.
Good job. Well, you just step up and beat Bailey. Your name. First name and last name. If you don't put your last name, you get no points. If you're too lazy to put your last name, I'm too lazy to give you points. So make sure you put your last name on there. Second, what class period you're in. For you guys, it's period 6. It won't ever change. If you put the wrong class period on there, I don't give you points. because you're too dumb to get points, because you don't know what class period you're in. So if you write, and I have kids write the wrong class period every year. So make sure you write the correct class period. 3, write down what day you guess. Either day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or the actual date. August 21st, September 39th, October 62nd. Whatever the particular date might be, write that on there. 4, whatever your guess is. They all have squirrels. Something like that. And I'll go through there, and then you go through, and you'll get points for it. If you get it wrong, it does not count against you. If you get it right, then it just gives you those bonus points, depending on what day that you guess. I empty the box every day during best, pull them out, figure out who won. I won't tell you that you've won until the end of the week, because I'm not an idiot. If not, I'll be like, hey, you won yesterday. You're going to go around and try to sell that information on the black market so you can become rich and retire. Like, I know the people, and so it's not going to happen. So you won't know until Friday whether you've won. You can ask me. I'll lie to you, but I'm not going to actually tell you the truth until Friday. This will begin next week, is my goal. So Monday was where the tie game will begin. Kelsey?
Well, if you lied about it, and then you're like, no, you didn't win the tie game, then they knew they did win, and then they could go around and tell people.
Yeah.
Except maybe I know you know that, so then I tell the truth. Mr. Brovicast, my mind just got blown. I know, it's fun stuff. Alright, now to help you out with this, we are going to do an example game. I took pictures of some of my ties, and we're going to walk you guys through how the guessing of it will work. Benjamin, you get to sit in the seat. Yay, you've been practicing. Alright, so I'm going to go through, refocus this, and show you example ties. Hang on, people at home, don't freak out. Refocus. Alright. If you were to guess on the first day, how many points would you get?
4.
You would get 4. So on this day, I wore my Eeyore tie with Pooh and Tigger on it and stuff like that. Ooh, I forgot. Sorry, back up. I forgot the yellow part right here. Colors are never a guess. The reason I had to do that was, one, I had the kid who always thinks they're witty, like, my guess this week is that they're all ties. No. And then I had kids who figured out that black is on every tie, because they just outline things in black. And everybody goes like, black, win again, black, win again. So you can't guess colors. So it has to be an actual something that's not colors. Alright, so now back to our day 1. Knowing that information, what would be a possible theme that could work? Avery?
They're all Disney.
Disney could definitely work. Yeah.
They're all cartoon animation characters.
Cartoony animation characters could definitely work. Toddy.
They're all animals.
Animals could definitely work. Yes, dear?
They're all from Winnie the Pooh.
They all are from Winnie the Pooh, to be very specific. You are correct. Avery again.
They're all themed for a child.
They are themed for a child. Or people of all ages, because I like Winnie the Pooh too. But yes, in fact, they could be from children's shows. If you guess on day 2, how many points?
3.
Here are my adorable exotic frogs. There goes your Winnie the Pooh. There goes your Disney. There goes a number of them.
Well,
Blonde.
It could be Disney.
it could be.
They're all animals.
They are all animals. Mr. Brovicast, Disney wants to do a movie with a frog in it. Actually, it does not work that way. You can't just do a random thing where you're just trying to reach out there to the kid. You go, how about video games? Because I saw there's a video game with Pooh in it, and there's a video game called Frogger. I'm like, no! Like, you're reaching way too far. It's not the way it's going to work. Sydney.
They're all kind of like patterned, like tessellations of like the same thing over and over again.
Tessellations. Look at you throwing down that kind of word. Nicely done. And so yes, they all have tessellations on them if you want to do that, because not every tie has a pattern to it. So that could definitely work. Yes, sir.
What does tessellation mean?
Pattern. That's why I repeat it as the tessellations, the pattern. That's why I do the whole teaching thing. Learning. So, I know. You're a professional. Thanks. Day 3. How many points? 2. And that one has woof woofs on it. And bones and stuff like that. So what theme is still working for you?
Animals.
Tessellations. Good job. Which is different than constellations. But yes, and then also we still have animals. What about, as a kid pointed out, blue? We have blue there, and blue there, and blue there.
Colors.
Right. And I also had a kid before, it's like, dogs. Can't dogs work as a theme? No. It has to match the whole week. But I don't understand. It has to go for all of them. You're not doing a theme for just that day. That's not a theme. You're just describing that day. There's a difference. Every year. Then for day 4, how many points?
1.
And we have here. Tessellation. So this would be a penguin. So what would work best?
Animal.
That is correct. Animals on that one. So yeah, sometimes patterns work, but not always, because I have lots of ones that don't have patterns, no matter how grumpy a face you give me. So then, let's take a look at another example of. Hi, Adrian. What's going on?
I have another thing that would work.
Yes, dear.
They're all owned by Mr. Brovicast.
Yes, that would cover every tie. That's right. They're being ties and made of cloth. Yes, dear.
They all have eyes.
They would. I actually would count that fact that they all have eyes, because there's some ties that would not have.
The frogs don't have eyes.
Done. Sydney just served you. The frogs don't have eyes.
That's a dot. That's a dot.
Yeah, they have eyes.
Eyes.
Boom! Sydney just got served with dots. Game on, back and forth. Okay. Sometimes you might not know this, but I like to get sassy. And so I'm going to have a tie theme where I like to test your ability to think. I'm already out. So what I'm going to show you a theme, and I'll let you know ahead of time. This is going to require you to think as you go through it. So, I'm not going to have you tell me your answer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the first day. I'm going to have you raise your hand when you think you have a theme that you think will work. And we're going to see how long your hands can stay up and when they drop and stuff like that. All right. So, day 1, how many points?
4.
Correct. I'm going to start off with my Silver Surfer tie. Silver Surfer, superhero fighting in space. He's fighting robot dogs in space. It says Silver Surfer and stuff up there. All right. So you have your hand up if you think you have an idea of what it is. Going to Tuesday, how many points? 3. Fantastic 4. It says Fantastic 4 up there. It has Rockman and Stretchy Guy and Fireboy. And so it has stuff like that. So you have your themes going. Day 3, you get? 2. Maybe Superman with the little diamond symbol with the S in the middle. If you were thinking Marvel, you're out, because this is DC, 2 completely different companies. Mr. Brovicast, you lied. It's not tricky at all. I don't know what you're talking about. It's that. Are those M&Ms? Yep. That's it. And the hands come raining down. So yeah, not superhero. Oh, Mr. Brovicast, M&Ms fight hunger. Yeah. Hunger's not a crime. So it doesn't work that way. So in that idea, if you were trying to do superheroes and comic books and stuff like that, no. Toddy?
They all have good people, like they're all good.
They're all?
They're all good.
They're good people. They're not villains, they're good people.
You did say good people 6 times. I did pick up on the good people part. I would consider good people. Yes. Yeah.
You could say they all have letters in them.
Yeah.
That's actually where I was going. The fact that they all have letters. If you look at them and you aren't thinking about, if you know nothing about pop culture, you just look up and you're like, oh, that's just an S in a fancy shape. You're like, that's a letter, and those are letters, and those are letters, and oh, they're all letters. Plus, oftentimes it'll depend on what order I wear the ties. Because I pick them out at the beginning of the week, and I just have all my ties, I plug them out, and I'm like, I'll wear those this week. Like if I started off with like this tie to this tie, you'd have been thinking a whole different direction. And you probably would have gotten letters much faster. But because I start over here, I get you guys thinking one direction. I take that mental rug and I go, like, and you just fall down. And it's just hard for you to get back up. So that's sort of how the whole tie game thing is going to work. Clap, clap. No. You guys were sort of, he said it, I must do it. My hands were full, so I couldn't want to smack my own head to make the clapping sound. Focus. All right. Did you guys have questions about this when it begins next week? Okay. Something else is going to begin next week. Was there a question? I didn't see you, Cindy. It wasn't personal. Trust me.
I have a question. Never mind.
Okay. No.
It's like a common question.
Go for it.
Well, the very first week,
Yes, which is next week.
was there a theme?
Oh, of this year.
Star
No.
Wars.
Random. Because I wore
Because
just.
they both were really creepy.
No, the first one was smiley faces. That was cool.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No. Yes, it was.
She's not a happy person. Stop hating on her.
There was the eye, the creepy eye at the bottom, and then your children sleeping.
That was actually earlier this week.
Yeah, children's sleeping was earlier this week. Smiley Face was the first day, and Eyeball was the second day. I have all of his ties written down in my notes.
That is kind of creepy.
That's
She's your
Yeah.
stalker.
They're hating on you now, but later on they're going to pay you for that information.
One
So
time
don't
I
you worry.
found where someone lived by stalking their Instagram,
Yeah.
finding their school, searching up their school on the internet. And then
Look at that.
This past week I had no theme. It was just random ties I wanted to wear. Okay. Although Mr. Stump kept trying to find a theme, he kept doing, I did Fantastic Four, I did My Family, and then I did the Beatles. He kept saying, "You're wearing groups of four." And so that I was like, that was just random. Although you looked really excited. I yes, four! So it was just the way it worked out. Something else I'm going to try doing this year that I've never done before. We're going to see how it works out, so you guys get to my test group. My oldest daughter has Mr. King at Sand Creek this year, and so I'm going to steal an idea from him. And I'm going to make it mine and better, because I'm better than him. And what he's doing is doing this tie Thursday thing, and my daughter wore a tie to school, and she was all excited about it. I'm like, I'm going to steal that, so I'm going to do Terrific Tie Tuesday. The way Terrific Tie Tuesday works is if you play my fun game and you wear a tie with me, I give you B points, simply for existing with me and sharing in on my tie fun. It's a random number. I put up there that I was going to give you 2, then I decided to change it. What I'm going to do is at the very beginning of the day, I'm going to roll a dice. And it's going to be some number, so it's going to be random each week. And if you're wearing a tie that day, then you get those points. If you don't wear a tie, that's fine. It doesn't cost you anything besides my respect, because you're then a loser. But that's certainly a choice that you can make, and I'm okay with it. Your tie has to be worn on a collared shirt. And the reason I make it on a collared shirt is because if I was a student, I would cheat because I was a horrible person. And I would just keep a tie in my locker and just be like, it's a Tuesday, and I would just slide it on. And then randomly worth a t-shirt and stuff like that. So it has to be a collared shirt, that way I know you planned ahead to make yourself look all fancy. Also, if I see you later not wearing a tie, I charge you double points, whatever was worth that day. Because once again, the other way that I would have been a horrible person as a student, I would have had one tie that I shared with all my friends in other class periods. And just been like, my tie, then your tie, then your tie. So if I see you later on, I charge you double points, whatever it was worth that day. And so I figured this will start this next coming week. If you're on my remind, I will be sending out a remind to let you know. And it'll say, hey, Terrific Tie Tuesday, be a dork with me. And you get to join in all my fun games and stuff like that. If you don't want to, it's fine. I just judge you. But it does not affect you in any other way. Yes, dear?
What if you avoid you all day?
Well, that's also a fun game to play. Game on. Yes.
So if you don't wear a tie, you lose B points. If you're wearing a tie and you see us later without a tie, we lose points.
Correct. Now, not counting like PE and stuff like that. I'm not gonna like creep around like I'm strangling out here. I've just been like in your normal classes and stuff like that.
So if we just don't wear a tie the whole day, we don't lose points?
Correct. That's fine.
Okay.
Is if you wear one and then take it off later, that's when you're gonna. Or if I see you all day and you don't have a tie, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm in class, but pop it. And so yeah, because you guys are 6th period, like I can get away. I wish you luck. You're always welcome to try and outsmart me. Kids try and do it every year. Every kid has always failed because I'm just smarter than you. So the sooner you accept that, the better off. Even you. Yes.
2 things. One,
Faster.
Okay. One, if you don't, what if you don't have a collared shirt? Do you just beg your parents till they buy you one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell them it's for school and you have to have it or your teacher will never respect you again.
Okay.
And tell them to watch the video. It is now documented proof.
Yes.
Good
And
job.
then so what if you just keep the tie in your locker the whole day and then wear a collared shirt on that day?
That's fine.
And you still have it.
That's fine too. But you still have to remember to wear a collared shirt. So that's good. At least
Yeah.
just
What
shows
if
you're
you
planning ahead.
naturally just wear those shirts?
Well, then naturally you're just awesome. Problem solved. If you have questions, good. Hold on to them until later. I have one more thing to introduce, and then I'll move on, and you guys seem to have lots of issues. Shocker. The last thing I want to introduce to you guys real quick is, in a moment, I still have enough time, make sure you do not leave with that poster, because then I will have to hunt you down. It's just going to go on the X on my desk when we leave. All right, the last thing I want to tell you about is house points. We have 2 other teams here at school. We're the Heroes team. The other 2 teams are?
Stars and
Globetrotters, Stars and Globetrotters. They're convinced they're better than us. They're wrong. So I need empirical evidence to prove to them that they are not better than us. And they are, in fact, weaker than us. So we have what are called house points. You are part of the Heroes House. And there's a Globetrotter house and there's a Stars house. You earn points for our house by doing good kid things. If you've ever seen the Harry Potter movies, or heaven forbid, realize that they were once turned into books, those things happen. Yes, in there's things called Gryffindor and Ravenclaw and stuff like that. They have houses, and they would award points, award the same way. You earn us points for doing good kid things. If you join a team here at school, you get points for it. Whether it be football, cross country, volleyball, cheerleading, all the way to like speech team, academic team, any of those teams, yes, it's a team when you talk out loud. And so any of those teams, you get points for it. We have fundraisers here. If you participate in the fundraiser, you get points. We have spirit days, like wear a college sweatshirt. You participate, we get points for it. On your way down to science, when you go through the Stars crib area, off to the left, there's this big window, and it says the Charger Challenge or the Tri-Charger board. I have the rankings on there of the 3 teams and where they are. Currently, we have beat all the other teams that don't exist. But any team that does exist beat us, because we got 3rd place last year. Because last year's kids were losers. And I'm not making fun of them. They lost. Hence, they're losers. It's pretty straightforward. Not me, because I've won in the past. They have not. The Heroes, we lost last year. It was a rough year. But we have won this more times than any other team. We are in the overall lead for this. And I would really like to win it again, because I like winning. I'm good at it. But I can only win with your help. It requires you guys to do it. So you can go out there and you can see where the points are. We don't have points up there yet, because we're just now scoring points. Football team is the only one that's scored any points yet, because you don't get points until your team has its first meet or game or something like that. So until then, your team hasn't scored points, and the football team is the only one that has, so they're scoring points. So we'll start getting those up there on that board. You can look on there. Is there another thing that's already gone? Cheerleading. Cheerleading would also get points. I apologize. I'm going to hit on the cheerleaders. Don't you cheer at me. And so they'll also get the points for the same thing. And then you'll see also we rank all the 7th and 8th graders on there. Only the top 5, because everyone else is losers. But as long as you become one of the top 5 7th or 8th graders, you get your name on there too. And so you'll hear me talk about house points coming up this year. That's what I'm referring to. Do not leave with my poster. Return it over there.